Hey everyone, it's Zahara Stars with Astrology, talking about another Jupiter transit. And in this transit video, I'm going to be talking about Jupiter transiting the third house. As I've been saying in all my previous videos, everybody loves Jupiter. Jupiter is about luck and abundance, fortune, happy-go-lucky. Jupiter brings about fortunate events in whichever house it's transiting. So let's take a look at what the third house is all about. The third house is about communication. It is the house of Gemini. It is a cadent house. It's about getting information to and from. It's also about local travel, your environment, and the local neighborhood, along with shops and things around close vicinity within your place of residence or work or wherever you are. It's also about local travel, and it's the house of the mind and perception. So Jupiter rules over the ninth house of philosophy, beliefs, politics, religion, travel, long distance travel, overseas travel. It has to do with learning by experiencing, and also higher education. So the ninth house is a very wide-ranging house, from higher education, philosophy, beliefs, to long-distance travel and foreign things. So Jupiter rules over that area, okay, which is a really happy, expansive house. It's about learning, it's about exploring, it's about positive beliefs and faith, things that are about positive thinking, positive beliefs, and anything that has to do with exploring beyond the horizons. So Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system, and it's primarily composed of, it has a lot of other things, but of helium, which kind of explains how Jupiter tends to expand whatever house it's transiting. Expansion is what Jupiter is about. Expansion, whether it's learning, whether it's exploring, whatever it is. So these two houses are sort of connected. The ninth house is also about publishing, while the third house is about writing. The third house is about learning through your environment, and the ninth house is about higher education. So Jupiter transit in this house does fairly well. It does tend to expand getting information to and from. So if you work on the computer and you work writing or posting or YouTube channel or selling things online, your business is likely to expand in that areas. You're going to see a lot of activity happening. If you happen to commute for work, or you don't normally, you may start commuting for work a lot more often, because Jupiter expands getting information to and from, travel, local travel. You might find that communicating is a really big priority, or that it's something that you end up doing a lot of. Writing, communicating, driving, internet contracts, over the phone contracts, any type of communication is going to be enhanced and expanded. Now, if you do have an online business, or like I said, you sell things online, or you are in the transportation business, or you drive for a living, or whatever it is, that's going to increase. Your business is going to increase. You can see large gains during this time period. Luck and fortune is going to come to you in these areas, whether it's working online, communicating, writing a book, shipping things to and from, along with getting luck and benefits through neighbors and siblings, which I didn't touch on. That also has to do with the third house. So your siblings can be beneficial to you. You can spend a lot more time communicating with them during this time period. You can see yourself, like I said, anything that has to do with writing. You might find yourself suddenly interested in like writing a book, or writing your life book, or starting a website, or something like that. And if you do, it's going to be highly beneficial for you, and you're going to see it expand rather quickly. And then again, like I said, benefits coming through your local neighborhood. I mean, you could literally be walking down the street and meet somebody that's very important to you, or very important for you and your business or your life, or in some way, shape, or form that's going to benefit you. You'll get friendly, happy people at your local stores, or walking around the pubs, or anything like that. Anything that's in your local environment, your neighbors will be positive, optimistic, beneficial to you, because Jupiter is optimistic, beneficial, positive. It's all about abundance with Jupiter. So whenever we're talking about Jupiter transits, we're looking at that, a positive energy getting put into that house. You're going to find yourself a lot more positive and optimistic overall. I mean, your thinking process will be more positive and optimistic. Your communication ability will be more positive and optimistic. It's like people are going to say, wow, you just sound so much more positive, because that's the effect that Jupiter has. Of course, other transits occurring and the aspects that are being made to your other planets could change and alter this interpretation. So you do have to take those into consideration. This is just a general Jupiter transiting the third house only interpretation of what Jupiter would bring, because Jupiter is about luck, abundance, optimism, faith, hope, beliefs, all this stuff that has to do with positive affirmations, things like that. You can find yourself involved in that. You can find yourself looking into that. Just being a lot more optimistic, positive, and happy overall, because the third house is of the mind and the way that you think. Learning new subjects, you'll pick them up a lot quicker. You might decide to learn new subjects. You might find yourself surfing the internet, exploring, finding new information, trying to gain more information. It's a really good time to learn something new. And also, it's a really good time, ironically enough, I've seen, for you to participate in any types of sports as well. A lot of people I know that have Jupiter in the third house, or while Jupiter was transiting the third house, because it is the house of dexterity as well, like balance, dexterity, all that stuff, because it's our immediate environment. It's Gemini, multitasking as well. But agility is considered in there as well. So you might be multitasking, you might be very good at it. Communication, writing, communicating, contracts, things like that. Online businesses, writing, benefits from neighbors, siblings, spending more time with your siblings, getting along better with them being more positive towards you, is really going to be the focus while Jupiter is transiting the third house. So do keep that in mind. When Jupiter enters the third house, you're going to be a lot more optimistic, a lot more positive, and as a result, you start attracting a lot more positive results in your life. And this includes you just being more friendly with your neighbors, more friendly with the shop owners and stuff nearby, and everybody's more friendly with you. And you just start to really activate your local environment. You start to become more social in a lot of ways as well. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. I appreciate you joining me for my Jupiter series. I did the first, second, and now the third. So I'll be going on to the fourth. If you would like your own personal reading, you can visit my site at www.illumastrology.com. I also write all about these transits and stuff there, and also about synastry and composites and stuff like that. If you guys are interested, you can take a look at those. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. Until next time.